Welcome to the Lumbridge Knight Goblin Diplomacy Quest Guide for Old School RuneScape. There aren't any skill requirements for this quest, but you will need 3 sets of Goblin Mail, which can be found in the Goblin Village, 2 wood leaves from Faldor, 2 onions, and 3 red berries. This will score you 5 quest points, 1 gold bar, and 200 crafting XP. Let the diplomacy begin. Welcome to the Lumbridge Knight. Remember to subscribe and like our videos if you don't want to miss out on any of the hints, tips, tricks and guides that we're going to be bringing you on this channel. So without further ado, let the questing begin. As you can see, I'm starting the quest in Faldor, and from Faldor you need to head basically directly north from the main Faldor gate, which you can see kind of highlighted on the map with the reticle of where I am. Head directly north to the Goblin Village, as I've just pointed out. Just looking at the quest log, we can start the quest by speaking to General Warpface and General Bentnose. Basically, in the Goblin world, in RuneScape, there is a disagreement among the 2 top generals about which colour the Goblins' armour should be. Should they wear red? Should they wear green? And the 2 generals are kind of about to have a bit of a Goblin civil war over this. So the idea is, we're going to go in there and maybe kind of diffuse the situation. So here, you can see I've arrived at the Goblin Village, and I've just talked to one of the generals. Either one will initiate the conversation, like clicking on either will initiate the conversation. I'm going to go through the various dialogue options, just trying to placate the goblins basically, and sort of go through with try and understand the problem and solve it. At this point, it's also worth mentioning that I haven't clicked on my inventory yet, but when I do, you'll see that I've already got 3 goblin mails in my inventory. Now I collected these, and this is what I would advise you to do in advance, is because of the location of this, when I first start off in the world, I stick to the sort of Lumbridge Varrock area. I don't really come across to Faldor till slightly later on. So by training on the goblins opposite Lumbridge Castle, I already picked up several sets of goblin mail and banked 3 of them. So before this quest, I went to the bank, got my goblin mail out. I also recommend you have a few coins with you, because the dies cost 5 coins each. So I think Aggie, the die maker, requires money, and also you need to buy the leaves. I've got some tips on that, on how you can get the wood leaves from the gardener a little bit cheaper, but in general you still need to buy the wood leaves. Okay, so continuing. Don't worry if you haven't brought any goblin mail with you, because as you can see where my character's going about now, there's a crate behind the general's hut that you can find one. There's also one in either one of those 2 buildings just next to the general's hut. And there's one in the gatehouse if you go up the ladders. So you can get all 3 suits that you need already. So you don't need to worry about actually bringing that with you. I just did that because it's more convenient, and I was killing the goblins anyway, so I already had them in the bank. I already banked them in preparation for this quest. I'm pointing out on the map where Aggie is. She's in Draenor Village. So that's where we need to go to make the dyes. Now we need to make a blue dye, a yellow dye, and a red dye, because the goblins want orange and blue armor. So to make the orange, we need to combine the red and the yellow. So to make yellow dye, we need 2 onions. To make blue dye, we need 2 wood leaves, and we need 3 red berries to make red dye. So now you can see on the map there, I'm heading back down to Faldor to go to the gardener, because he's where we buy our 2 wood leaves. There's a good tip here that'll save you a few coins. So hightail it down there, head east as you get through the main gate to Faldor, into the garden, and look for the head gardener. The head gardener is the guy in the house. There's a house at the far east side of the garden, with a guy stood in there. So if you head into the house, and he's the guy you need to speak to. Something I probably should have mentioned earlier is definitely having some stamina potions with you, or an amulet of glory would come in really handy in making this quest a hell of a lot quicker. Just a quick FYI there, guys. Okay, so we found the head gardener. Ask him if he'll sell us some wood leaves, and he'll ask us how much we want to pay. Offer the maximum amount, offer 20 coins, and he says that's a generous amount, and he gives you 2 leaves. If you offer 15, he'll only give you 1, and you have to buy 2, so therefore it costs you 10 more coins. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use because I'm not playing on a member's account at this point, I'm going to use my free home teleport to teleport to Lumbridge. If you had an Amulet of Glory now, it would probably be quicker to teleport directly to Draenor Village, but as I'm playing on a hardcore Iron Man account on a free at the moment, I've got to use the home teleport to get to Lumbridge. So now I'm going to make my way from Lumbridge Castle through the backfields to Farmer Fred's house. This is the same Farmer Fred that gives you the sheep shearer quest. I'll put a little link coming up in the video there now as well. Head into his back garden and grab 2 onions, exactly as you did for the Witch's Potion quest. Another video I'll pop up on the screen shortly. And again, select 2 onions from his garden. Once you've got the onions, turn around and head all the way west towards Draenor Village. Although Draenor Village is the end destination, we still need our red berries. Now, if you're prepared for this quest and you already had the items, you can skip the video ahead to Aggie and just make the dyes, like making the dyes bit of the quest. I should have left the timestamp in the video. If not, like me, you want to do things, you need to still get the red berries. There's 2 ways of getting this. You can go to Varrock, and south of Varrock, next to the mine, is red berry bushes, so you can pick the berries there. As I've just shown you on the map, alternatively, there's a food shop in Port Sarim where you can buy the red berries. Now, I've opted to buy the red berries at this point because Varrock was a bit more inconvenient, it's a bit more out of the way. So I head over, trade the guy in the food shop, and buy the red berries. Now, unfortunately, he only stocks 1 red berries at a time, so you'll have to buy 1 and then wait for it to respawn. It probably takes about a minute to respawn, or a minute or so to respawn, so I'm going to speed the video up from now. So unfortunately, you're going to have to wait the 2 minutes until they respawn to get the other 2 berries that you need, so you get 3 in total. There we go, there's the last one. Now I need to head back to Draenor Village, back to Aggie to make the dyes. Just a quick FYI, guys. Don't get Aggie and Hetty mixed up. Hetty's the witch in Rimington. She will not make dyes for you. She's only there for the Witch's Potion quest. Aggie has a blue cauldron. Hetty has a green cauldron. Well, the liquid in it is green. Aggie's is blue. So speak to Aggie. Just say, will you make dyes for me? Or can you make some dyes for me? And knock up a red, yellow, and blue dye. So you should have 3 bottles of dye. As you can see, I've started with the red. Then I'm straight in for another one. I think I'll go for yellow this time. Yep, and then finally the blue. Just remember that each of the dyes cost 5 gold to make. And that means that in total you will need 20 coins to buy the wood leaves, and then 3 coins to buy the red berries, and then 5 coins for each dye. So that's 15 for the dye, 9 for the berries, taking us up to 24, plus the 20 for the wood leaves gives us 44. So in total for this quest you will need 44 coins. Now once it's done, mix the red and yellow dye to make an orange dye, and then use that on one set of armor and use the blue on another set of armor. Don't accidentally mix them up, because you can make like different variations of different colors, like purples. You can just use the red and make yellow armor, and obviously if you make those suits, they won't do anything in the quest, so it won't matter. You've just wasted your time. So now we need to head, we've got the armor we need, so you need 1 plain, 1 blue, and 1 orange. So I've got 2 extra sets there, don't worry about that. And now, having Faldor teleport would be really useful, but I don't have that at the moment. So my character is going to leg it the whole way. So rather than speeding the video up and letting you kind of watch that, I'm just going to skip straight to Faldor and start running to the Goblin Village from there. As with a lot of these quests, the running is what takes the most time. Also, something to mention that we've gone past a couple of times now is the little hut there is Doric's hut. Doric's like smith, Doric's forge. And if you do Doric's quest, there's a link, I'll put a link up in the video now as well. That will give you access to his anvils there. And it's a really easy quest that gives you a nice bit of mining experience. So well worth having a go. And it's probably, arguably, the easiest quest in old school RuneScape. Okay, so as you can see, we finally arrived back at Goblin Village. So talk to one of the bosses, like either of the two bosses, to initiate the final narrative. You now get treated to kind of like a bit of a goblin fashion show where Grubfoot gets sent to try the different colours on. So they try the orange first, and the bosses are not impressed with the orange. They don't like that. So now offer them the blue armour. Yep, poor Grubfoot gets sent off to get changed again. And he goes into the changing room. And out he comes in the blue armour. And equally, the goblins are not impressed with that colour either. So finally, speak to them again and offer them the plain armour, so the regular armour like they've already got. And again, poor Grubfoot will be sent to change into the brown armour, which actually, when you look at it, it looks more white to me, like, or grey with a brown trim. And surprise, surprise, the two goblins actually like the original armour, which means the quest was largely pointless. But we did it for the experience. That's 5 very easily won quest points, vital for the Dragon Slayer 1 quest requirements and entry into the Champions Guild, as well as 200 crafting experience and a gold bar. If you've enjoyed this video and it has been at all helpful, please like, subscribe, share, and leave a comment. I, the Lumbridge Knight, am here to serve you, and this is me signing off, so peace out, guys.